Nora wore her jeans jacket, slipped on her sneakers, grabbed her school bag, and walked out of her room. When she came downstairs, she found her mother, Lisa, up early making her breakfast. Seeing Nora, she wiped her hands in a hurry and called her to the table. "Sweetheart, have your breakfast before you go. I made your favorite." Nora took a seat seeing her mother's state. She could tell her mother felt guilty supposing she was upset with her. So Nora took a few spoons and then pushed the plate back. "You don't like the sausages? Do you want me to fry you some bacon?" Her mother said, already on her way to the stove again. "No, Mom, I'm just not hungry. I'll eat later on," Nora said as she got up and wore her bag again. Lisa quickly packed a sandwich and took out a $10 bill from her purse and handed it to Nora. "Make sure you have lunch, okay?" Nora looked at her mom, being so nice to her. "It's okay, Mom. You don't have to feel sorry," she said as she took the lunch and the money from her mother and headed out the door. Nora lived with her parents towards the suburbs of Fargo in North Dakota. In her neighborhood, the houses were spaced quite far apart, and shopping meant you had to drive to the nearest mall about an hour away. Nora was a freshman in high school. Every morning, she had to walk about half an hour to get there, and she usually followed the main road all the way to school. It was still very early, the skies had yet to brighten. There were a few cars passing down the road, and the morning breeze felt so cold after leaving the comfort of home. She was supposed to be back 1 hour ago. I saw this coming. She probably ran off with some boy. No, Dawn, she's not like that. When the clock hit 4 and Nora didn't return home that afternoon, her parents became awfully worried. Nora was never late, and if she was going somewhere, she would tell her mother. Lisa and Dawn kept checking out their window, walking out on the block hoping Nora would show up. But when night fell and she didn't, anxiety soon kicked in. Lisa called all her daughter's friends. Perhaps Nora was there. "No, Mrs. Adams, Nora isn't here. Is everything okay? She didn't come to school today either." She didn't go to school? When Don overheard the matter, he became all the more agitated. "I told you this, didn't I? She ran away." "Where could she have gone? I want my daughter back, Don." After a night of restlessness, the parents went to the police the next morning. But all efforts in explaining that something wasn't right went futile. "I understand you're worried for your child, but oftentimes teenagers do these sorts of things. Maybe she'll come back." "Officer, she's only 14. She doesn't have money, she doesn't know how to drive. Where could she have gone?" "I'm sorry, miss, we can't file a missing persons report before 48 hours of the disappearance." If what the police had said turned out to be true, that would be a relief. But 48 hours went by and Nora didn't return. The police then set out on investigation. However, they were unable to locate her or even find a clue. 5 years had gone by since Lisa's daughter had gone missing. She was devastated and heartbroken. When the police couldn't find Nora, Lisa tried to take things in her own hands. Every morning, she walked the neighborhood. Every week, she went out to pin her daughter's missing persons poster on the street poles. But months, years went by with nothing. "You have to let go, Lisa. She left us. It was her choice. There's nothing we could have done." Don tried to console his wife, but a mother's heart could never be content not knowing where or how her child was, and the days went by miserably. Until one morning, Lisa received a letter in the mail. It was from Nora. "Mom, it's been long since I last saw you. I hope you're doing well. I really missed you all these years. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. I have the support I need, I have money, and I'm doing well. I wanted to come back to you, Mom, but you're still with Don, so I choose not to. I wanted to tell you I love you and let Don know I told him. Thank you." That afternoon when Don came home, he found his wife sitting on the sofa waiting for him. Her eyes were red and teary. "Is everything okay, Lisa?" Nora sent us a letter. She told me to let you know. She says, thank you to you. Thank you? To me? Why would she thank me? Early that morning, when Nora left her house and headed down the main road on her way to school, a car drove to a stop beside her. The man rolled down the window and smiled at her. Excuse me, morning. Do you know where the BII high school is? I was recently hired there. I'm a new teacher, but I guess I've lost my way. There is only one high school around here. If you go straight down and turn left, you'll recognize the building. Are you a student there too? Yes. Well, then I must be your new teacher. Come on, I'll drop you off. It's all right, I'll walk there. It's okay, let's go. We're headed to the same place anyways. Hop in. Nora took a glance at her watch. She was 15 minutes behind. Besides, I think we're both getting late now, the man said. So on the teacher's insistence, Nora agreed. Okay, she said, walking around and getting into the car. So we're going to be heading straight down, right? Right. It shouldn't take long. Nora sat back, watching the trees on the opposite side of the highway. Not a lot of cars were out today. The sun was just starting to rise, and the patches of sunlight that seeped through the clouds finally started to heat up the day. So what grade are you in? 9th. A freshman, cool. Nora was expecting the ride to be quick, but when another 10 minutes had gone by, and instead of turning onto the road that led to the school, the man pulled up on the highway. That's when Nora started to get a bad feeling. Where are you going? The school was that way. The man didn't answer, but Nora could see the smirk appear on his face. Where are you going? You know they don't teach properly in schools. I want to be your teacher. How about I give you some private lessons instead? Nora got a little panicked hearing the man's words. This was a trap, and there was no point of asking him to stop the car. There was only one thing she could do: open the door and jump out. But as soon as Nora put her hand out to open the door, she realized the door handles had been removed. The man chuckled, seeing the anxiety in Nora's eyes. Nora watched as he took out a gun and began spinning it in his hand. Are you going to be like those girls who scream, "Do I have to point this gun at you?" and threaten or hurt you? I really don't want to hurt you. Nora put her hand down from the door. It's okay, I'll do as you say. So you're a good girl. It was almost a half-hour's drive away, off the highway and into a secluded narrow road, that the car finally halted to a stop. Nora had no clue where she was anymore. She stared at a house and could spot a shipping container in the lawn next to it. The man got down and opened the door for Nora. There were no stores or houses anywhere near her. Don't worry, I don't forget my manners, the man said with a crooked grin. Nora got down and followed him, but instead of going inside the house, he turned around onto his lawn towards the backyard to the shipping container. I guess I'm not going to stay in the house, Nora said. Oh, you're so smart. We're going to have some good fun together. You can scream all you want. This is soundproof, he said as he pulled open the container. Ladies first. Of course, I'll go first. You can't risk me running off behind you. Nora walked into the shipping container. There was a gross smell in the air, and nothing but a flimsy blanket and a pillow laid on the floor. Nora turned, hearing the rusty, creaking noise. The man pulled the container door closed and locked it. He then stood there eyeballing Nora up and down with a wicked grin. Nora let out a breath before she took off her school bag. Hold my bag and turn around. Now don't try to be too smart. I'm not taking my eyes off of you. Smart? You have a gun? You're a 200-pound man? I'm just a 120-pound girl. I'm even giving you my bag. What are you afraid of? Take it and turn around. I want to give you a surprise. The man smirked and took Nora's bag, watching her as she started taking off her jeans jacket. Come on, turn around. I didn't know I was bringing home my boss. he said, turning around excited and confident, holding the girl's bag. What he didn't see coming was the trick Nora had up her sleeve. As soon as he turned around, Nora took out the sharpened screwdriver she always carried under her sleeve, and without hesitation, she went wild. Feeling the sharp pain pierce through his jugular vein, the man yelled out, holding his neck. But now, there was no one to hear him in the soundproof shipping container. Nora stood up to nothing but silence, looking at the man laying lifeless on the floor in disgust. "Thank you, Donald." After her father passed away, Nora's mother married Donald. Nora didn't like this man. She was against her mother marrying him, but she never said anything, wanting her mother to be happy in her life again. But Nora wasn't wrong of what she suspected of Donald. He was indeed an evil man. And he exposed himself the day he tried to take advantage of Nora while her mother was away. Nora was devastated by what happened. She was frozen on the spot. She didn't know what to do. She just barely managed to escape his hands that horrible day. But memories of that dreadful experience agonized her every minute of the day. She couldn't bear it. Donald, however, was confident. Nora had kept her mouth shut, and he had gotten away with it. But the next time he took his chances walking in on Nora when his wife was away, he realized things wouldn't go well for him. "You want to go another round, Don?" That dreadful night, Nora promised herself she wouldn't allow this to happen again. So she made her own self-defense tool, spending hours sharpening a small screwdriver that she would keep with her all the time. "If you ever try to put your filthy hands on me again, I'll kill you, Don." Nora never told her mother anything, but the second time around when her mother returned and saw the look on Nora's face, she knew something wasn't right. And when she spoke to Don, she could tell he wasn't telling her something too. Lisa had a hunch Don might have misbehaved with Nora, and Nora was upset. She never liked Don from the start of their marriage, and Lisa felt guilty she held herself responsible, so the next morning she tried to get her to speak. Sitting down with her at the table for breakfast, being nice to her. But all Nora said before she left for school was, "It's okay, Mom, you don't have to feel sorry." Nora wore her jacket, put her screwdriver in her sleeve, and grabbed her school bag. She had to get out of here, but she was covered in blood. Her clothes were spoiled. She searched the man's pocket and found the keys to his house. Maybe she could find some clothes or at least wash up over there. Locking the shipping container, Nora went into the man's house. There wasn't much inside, but as Nora searched through his drawers and closets, she got her hands on a good amount of money. Nora cleaned herself up, took the money, and left the house. She couldn't go back home after what she did, and she didn't want to go back home either. With the money she now had on her hands, she could put it to good use and make a way for herself. And that's exactly what Nora did. She changed her name. She found herself a place to live, she arranged a source of income for herself, and lived off the grid for the past 5 years. There were many times she had thought of contacting her mother, but she didn't do so, since she was still a minor. If she disclosed her location, the police would come and find her and return her to Don's house again. But after 5 years, now that she was 19, she wasn't legally bound by anything. So she finally sent news to her mother that she was safe, sound, and happy. "Nora sent us a letter. She told me to let you know, she says, thank you to you." "Thank you? To me? Why would she thank me?" Lisa read the letter again, holding it to her chest as tears flowed from her eyes. My baby is alive. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.